Hey, what up, everybody? Stevie Breech coming to you. The world has come to an end. Chris Jericho has finally spoke on Monday Night Raw. All in all, honestly, I was sort of outspoken about Jericho coming back because I've never really been a fan of Jericho's returns because I don't know, they've snuck so many guys in all the time. And they've been able to make surprise returns. Like, I guess the biggest last surprise return we had was The Rock, who most people knew it was going to be him, and even though we knew it was going to be him, there was that little shadow of a doubt that it wasn't going to be him. A lot of the wrestling news sites were reporting that WrestleMania guest host was going to be Justin Bieber, and even people were trying to connect Bieber being in LA to be on I think it was the Jimmy Kimmel show or something like that night. So he was already in the area, so people were already pointing their fingers there. It was like they didn't want to believe it was going to be The Rock. But when Jericho makes his returns, honestly, he always comes in and it's always a big splash and a big name, but I really just never really cared. I know that it's just a bunch of hoopla. That the Chris Jericho that we get that really matters is always a couple months down the road. So I was just thinking that I was just have to put up with the stuff that he was doing, but the stuff that he's been doing lately has been gold. I've been loving the fact that he's came down to the ring and not said anything and not done anything. It makes you wonder what the hell he's doing. Is he face? Is he heel? In my book, Chris Jericho will never be anything as a face in my book. He's just never really gotten over with me that much. Much like Triple H, I love the guy no matter where he is, but Triple H as a heel is so much better than Triple H as a face. His matches are better, his promos are better. It's the same thing with Jericho. I just don't get it with him, and I think the rebirth of Chris Jericho this time is him wearing that big fluffy jacket. That'll soon go away. I guess the Miz stole his last gimmick of being the guy dressing in the suits, and I guess everybody in the world is calling themselves best in the world now these days. So he has to move on from that. But the Chris Jericho that we get from here, who knows who it's gonna be? I mean, the news reports are already coming out. Well, they've been out saying that he was gonna fight Punk at WrestleMania. When it comes down to him fighting CM Punk at WrestleMania, I think the match is going to be terrific. The one thing that comes to my mind the most is when Chris Jericho fought Edge at WrestleMania 26. I thought the match was great. I thought the storyline was the shits, and I think this is pretty much the same thing it's going to be. I mean, the only thing I can think of is these guys are going to try to outwit each other in their promos and go back and forth like that, and Chris Jericho is going to get his "I'm serious" face, like every time Punk outwits him and gives him that one liner that puts him down. Jericho always going to put that little, like, I call it the mouse face. I don't even know if I can really do it, but he scrunches his face all up like he's really, really mad, like he's gonna do something, but he's just gonna sit there and take it. But all in all, I'm really glad that Jericho is back, and I really like the crap that he was doing the last few weeks, and um, I still don't understand how the hell those promos that they ran for a month relate to Chris Jericho. I understand that he said that when he wins the Rumble, it's gonna be the end of the world as we know it, or whatever exactly he said. But they still don't make any sense to me at all. I think that they were just trying to recreate the buzz last year of who is this mystery man, who it's gonna be. Last year when they ran the Undertaker promos, everybody in the world was hoping that it was gonna be Sting, that we were finally gonna get this Sting versus Undertaker match. At WrestleMania, since it was in Atlanta, the home of WCW. You can go on and on about that, but all in all, I'm glad Jericho's back. I think the stuff that he's doing right now is gold. I think he is one of the favorites to win the Rumble. I think he will be, a favorite that you can put on there with a lot of other people, but I really don't think that he needs to win it. When they've had returns before, like you had the big Cena return or the big Edge return, they're always surprise entrants in the Rumble. So maybe it's good that we know Jericho's going into it. Maybe we can have a good storyline going through it. Watch the 2005 Rumble last night, the one where Batista won it. Uh, I thought that for the most part, the beginning part started off pretty bad, but it really picked up near the end. It was pretty cool to see Batista and Cena finished up the match there, and the cool storyline that ran at the end. The Batista DVD sort of made it sound like it was on accident, and everything was sort of improvised at the end. But I'm not 100% sure. Every time I watch it, I always it always looks to me like it's real. Maybe I'll have to ask like Seth Mates on Twitter or something like that if it was really supposed to be like that, or if it was really a fuck up on Batista's part. He sounded like he took the full part of the blame, and he felt like he wasn't going to get his push after that. But All in all, Jericho, two thumbs up. Thank you for everything.